Real estate can be very rewarding career, but can real estate be very frustrating? You bet. And even for me myself, I found real estate very frustrating at times. Hi, my name is Yasser Khan, and I'm the author of Property Agent Secrets book. So, what was the thing that I found? What frustrated me the most about real estate? Well, there were two things that frustrated me the most about real estate. One had to do with my own skill in terms of attracting the right kind of prospect, the right kind of customers. And because I couldn't attract the right kind of customers, I wasn't making enough money. And the other frustration I had was to do with the real estate agents themselves. So, every agent out there, the biggest frustration, number one, with the majority of agents out there is not finding prospect. And that was true about me as well when I joined real estate all those years ago. So it's just that I did not know how to do the right kind of marketing in order for me to attract the right kind of buyers, the right kind of sellers, the right kind of prospects, because I wasn't doing the correct things. I wasn't getting enough volume of appointment. I wasn't getting enough phone call, and that was frustrating because appointment is equal to income in this industry. The more appointments you have, the more you're able to close, the more you're able to take as the income, the more commission you're able to make, right? But because I wasn't able to get a lot of inquiries coming in, I wasn't able to get a lot of leads coming in, I struggled in this area, and that was very, very frustrating. And I struggled for at least 8 long months before I even saw my first commission. So it was very, very frustrating. I had no job. I was doing it full time, and I had no previous sales experience, and I was struggling very badly to get the right kind of prospects coming to me. So that was very, very frustrating. And to add to that frustration, I did not know who to approach, because my upline wasn't very helpful. My upline asked me to do cold calling, to do door knocking, to do canvassing, to throw flyers, but all of those were totally outdated methods, totally outdated. And even 10 years ago, right, when I first started, they were still outdated. And even though agents keep doing that, but I realized that trying to cold call using my phone, trying to door knocking, is like trying to do fishing with my bare hands. And it was very frustrating because it's almost impossible for you to catch fish when you stand, let's say you stand near a stream of a river, right, and you can see the fish going there, and that makes you very, very excited, and that makes you hopeful. Okay, there are fish out there, you can catch the fish. But then you try to get down on your knees and try to grab them by the hand. They slip to your hands. They slip a lot, and that's very, very frustrating. And that was the reason that got it very, very, I got very, very angry. I got very frustrated with myself. Why was I not able to do that? But I realized, it took me some time to realize that it actually wasn't my fault, because it's just the way everybody does. And that influenced the way I try to attract prospect as well, and that increased my frustration, increased the struggle. Only if I knew the right thing, if I knew doing the right thing would accelerate my results very, very fast. And if I knew that early, I would have done it earlier and saved myself all the blood, all the tears, all the frustration. Seriously. And the thing about other real estate agent, when I did manage to get, after a while, I listened to Dan Kennedy's advice. I listened to all the online marketers out there, the way they were doing, the kind of marketing they were doing, and that was very helpful after I started getting a lot of leads coming in, right? So the next thing was, after I got some leads, the next thing was booking appointments with other agents, because co-broking, right? So co-broking was one area which is very frustrated, because I came face to face with the paucity mindset of other agents. Other agents were not willing to share a commission, and just by that they were so hungry, and they were so selfish, to not want to share the commission. And that that was very frustrating for me, seriously, to deal with these kind of agents. And I have nothing against those agents, but it's just that they have an outdated mindset, and they have the mindset that there's less business to go around, so they need to hoard, they need to keep all those leads to themselves, and they don't want to share the commission. And even in those days, people advertise in the newspaper no co-broking, and that's quite frustrating, seriously, right? If you don't do co-broking, right, how are you going to close the deals? So I realized that if you co-broke 10 deals, the money from there is better than you try to figure things out on your own, try to find the right people, try to do everything on your own, right? It becomes a much slower game, and the chances of closing are also less, and as the listing drags on and on, there's a perception issue in the market. People think that if your house isn't selling, there's something wrong with it, right? And by those, I found that those agents were actually minimizing their own chances of success by doing that, by trying to not do co-broking. So that's the thing that even today, right now, I still come across agents who are like that, and they have an outdated mindset. And the thing is that there is more business than there is business out there, but the thing is that you need to get the right kind of prospects, when the right kind of, when you have an overflow of business, you will stop doing that automatically, because now you have overflow, you're worried not about not enough business, but you're worried about too much business, right? So that changes your perspective. And that's personally, I went through that as well, and that's why I speak from experience. That's why I'm sharing with you whatever which actually happened to me, and whatever problems I managed to overcome. And yeah, so real estate can be very rewarding career. It can be very fulfilling, but also it has its own set of frustration. And with me personally, the biggest frustration was not knowing how to get enough business. And in dealing with other agents, the biggest frustration I had was they were not willing to co-broke. And that's the biggest frustration I used to have. And if you like this video, click on the bell icon, subscribe to YouTube, and I will see you in my next video soon.